We're live.
I mean, I've been.
We're live.
This meeting of the mayor and the board of Aldermen for the city of Cleveland is now in session. If you have any business before this board, please come forward and you will be heard.
Thank you. Table you up with the prayer.
Let us pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, we come this hour of the evening to give thanks for the many blessings that have restored unto us. We thank you for this privilege and we thank you for this opportunity for allowing us to come together to discuss the business of the city. We pray that everything we do and say will be in your will. It is in Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, our first business. Thank y'all for being here. A chamber update on Oktoberfest. So whichever one cares to do it. Okay.
All right, first off, my name is Jeffrey Pettis, and I'm a resident here of Cleveland, Mississippi. I've been here now for 22 years. I'm a proud resident. I live on South Fifth Extended. I want to say thank you for your time. I'm a current volunteer with the Cleveland County Chamber of Commerce, and we want to say thank you for all the support that the city does for the annual Oktoberfest. That's a signature event for our community. If you see the report that's being passed around, we are very fortunate to involve a group to do us an economic impact study so we can provide just some information to share with you so you can see exactly in some areas how Oktoberfest is supporting our community. And so I encourage you to take time, read through that. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or contact Laura Bowman, our CEO of the Baldwin County Chamber of Commerce. But I will kind of bullet point a few things that I feel that are interesting that many people would like to enjoy to hear right now. So per this report, 13,000 plus attended our event, 53% in town, 47% of attendees out of town. We had a very strong regional president as well as you can tell with the 47% out of town. 3.5 million in total spending. That's local and out of town due to the weekend of Oktoberfest. Let's see here some of those good things to talk about. The draw is local, but it also, you can kind of dive into why people attended. So we surveyed over 887 people and that either attended the event or participated in the survey through social media. So so it is a good overlook of everything that went on during the event. We also surveyed our cook teams and our vendors and our arts and crafts areas. So this year, Oktoberfest, we were very fortunate with support from the city, sponsorships, that we did make a good revenue for Cleveland Baldwin County Chamber of Commerce, which this has been adopted by the board as a fundraiser for the chamber. So I'm proud to say we made $30,000+ this year on Oktoberfest. So with that being said, that's our report. Thank you for your time and your support for our annual event.
Any questions?
Yeah, it was just a brief comment. One step here with Laura. Thank you all for what you do and continue to make us shine. I mean, you and Bill, we go in there, we're just excited about what is transpiring, things that we have raised views. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for all your help with Oktoberfest. We could not do it without y'all, and so we know the city spends a lot of resources to appreciate that.
And Public Works, they
Public
clean up the mess all the time.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it so much. Okay, these next two items are basically the same thing, sewer problem. So we got John and Johnny Stewart and Lynn Fair. One of y'all want to be the spokesman of the group? Anybody can add what they may want. You can pull a chair up, John. And you are
Lynn Fair.
Lynn Fair, Miss Fair.
How y'all
Okay,
doing
and I know
today?
you I've known him for years.
Okay, the reason that we came in today is to talk about the sewer problem that we have. I live at 1016 West Parkway Drive. Mr. Stewart, my neighbor to the left. But anyway, I know anytime we get heavy rain, the toilets don't work. And I started contacting Mr. Sanders, I think on the first text message that I sent him about it was on the 23rd, but the toilets hadn't worked like 4 days before
January,
that,
that's where-
January. The toilets was out for 2 weeks.
Wow.
We can't use the toilets. You have to, I mean, it's just inhumane to me, and I don't understand it. I called Waste Management. I spoke with the person at Waste Management. I called to speak to Hunter. I spoke with the receptionist, I guess, at Waste Management every day, because I said I was gonna continue to call and have documents saying how long our toilets have been out. You got to go to Walmart or McDonald's to use the restroom. That's not, you know, that's not what we're being charged for, something that we don't even have use of.
You're saying you have same length of time.
No, about the same length of time. I've been there 3 years and I've been having similar problems. And when it rains real hard, the dries up. And it takes them 24 hours to go down. During the summer, when it's dry, you don't hardly have much problem, but when it rains, I don't know whether it's taking on water somewhere or not. The guy came out last week and put pressure on him. It went down in about an hour. When he came back up, he came back. Came back the next hour. He put pressure on it, went down, but it hadn't rained since then. We are not having
Must've
a
been this
problem
week.
right now.
Well, it's not first last.
Can we ask Hunter a
That's why we
question?
got Hunter here. He's
Okay.
got documentation.
Yeah.
Hunter,
You'll have the documentation. Got all the work orders that we've had in the. But the main issue is every time I go. Is what? Grease, build up.
So it's been building up grease for like 5 years.
Like cooking grease.
No, I'm just asking, it's been 5 years, because it's been going on before my mom passed, and she passed in 2019. This was going on before she even passed. So I don't see, I can't understand how it's been greased this long and no one has at least addressed the neighbors and saying, okay, if anybody's pouring grease down your sink or whatever, you need to stop because it's backing up the sewers or whatever.
have you addressed your neighbor for that?
And I haven't personally addressed them, no.
Yeah.
Yes. I have been up here before. My name is Lois Hall for the same problem.
Okay,
but
you're on Parkway as well.
Parkway 10, I'm at 1006. They further down from me. But we've been having these problems like 15 years. It ain't just stopped. Over 10, really. The man behind us with all this junk, okay, he has a levee. Now, before he put that little levee up, you know, they pushed all those rocks and stuff up. And now the water is dumping over on us. My yard and my garage is like a river. It just flooded my whole yard and stuff out. So this is something going on before the grease. And when the maintenance guys came and did it, they said roots and stuff had grown across it. So they fixed it. So mine, I have a problem with it flushing, like I got sitting up the note. If it's raining a lot, I know not to flush back the road because it's gonna run over. So this ain't something just started happening. This has been happening. I
Okay,
get up
we
here.
get- we got it.
For that.
You feel like where they referred to is grease, I mean, pictures you have shown.
Yeah, the pictures that show grease. I don't know where it's coming from. I can't pinpoint, say it's your house, their house.
Well, I know it's not my house.
Here's
I know
that.
it's out with the girl.
Wow.
My mom told us, go poke grease down the sink.
Right.
So that ain't happening.
Don't-
Not just grease.
Are there some potential breaches in that line, that main line? Because what she's saying is
Grease.
that water's coming in there, and if
Yeah.
water's spilling up the sewer system somewhere, that's just bigger problem.
Infiltration towards that side on MLK is terrible. But, we're trying to work, and that's all about smokers. We never get caught up. Smoke the sewer. We'll be able to tell the water, all the rainwater.
Well, I know, we said this morning, Mr. Trotter, that we're going to check all the restaurants and they'll have a lot of grease problems and, you know, they have to call Ferguson or whoever to come do it, and it's quite expensive proposition.
But this past week, that was
we had a pull pump. At the influence station. With us pulling that pump, and taking in all that rain, you have the bypass pumps go, and they can only pump so much.
Right. That was a night y'all worked for
And,
10.
yeah, we worked till 10:30 trying to get this. We did,
Yeah, let me ask you this. As a representative, I've had this brought my attention more than one time. I'm just trying to see if possibly we can get maybe someone to diagnose the problem, engineer, someone like this, maybe get in there, and try to get to the core, see if it's something. that-
Would it, that be an engineer?
we can get the whole system cambered out.
Okay.
Maybe it needs to be relined.
Yeah, so we can try to get to the core, so, you know, one of the things we put in there.
Yeah, sure.
We never can.
We'd have to rent a
Contract.
have contract.
Find out what.
Yeah.
That's whatever.
Okay,
The diagnosis.
please proceed with that.
I mean, everything, all things out.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
Okay, I didn't go down. All right, that.
And then I just have one more, thing, and I don't understand how, when we go on weeks without being able to use our toilet, why don't it reflect on our bill? Our bill is still the same. The sewer is what it is.
I don't know how anybody would notice.
I mean, they would nobody calling, cause I call every day, they don't, every day.
Okay. Whoa.
So they most definitely know. And I even asked the person the last time that I called. Cause I mean, it's only fair. I shouldn't have to pay for something that I'm not even using a whole month. I'm using maybe 2 weeks out the month. That's not fair at all.
Is your tub drain?
My who?
Tub.
Yeah, does the sink and the tub, is everything else draining?
Yeah, it's just the
But
toilet.
below,
So you use water.
because that's what it goes. by.
Yeah. I use
Yeah.
water.
That's how they.
That's what it's based on.
The sewer charge. Water.
Probably minimum.
It's your sewer bill is based on your water usage.
Mhm.
So whatever amount of water you use is how much
How
your
much?
sewer bill is determined by.
Oh, okay, I
Yes,
was thinking
ma'am.
it was separate, like, you know,
No,
they're
ma'am.
the same.
It's based on your water usage. So whatever water you use, that's how your sewer bill is determined.
Okay, well.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I hope so.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we'll get on.
Yeah.
We got to.
Thank y'all.
Okay.
We need y'all.
We're having it in my ward too.
Okay.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Stewart.
we get it.
See you. Hey, pull that chair back, John.
Thank you, John.
Okay, Jennifer Harris. State your name and your address.
My name is Jennifer Harris. I live at 304 Southport Avenue, Cleveland. I appreciate y'all for
Yes, ma'am.
letting me speak. I work at Bank Plus. My car was parked in the parking lot. I was at work. The city works people, I'm not sure the correct terminology to use. They were taking down the big Christmas.
Declaration,
Yes, my car was parked right beside the Bank Plus lot,
license,
facing the
something
highway.
like.
Yes, sir, facing the highway. And the work truck was basically behind.
Yeah,
my
I saw
car.
the
It was
pictures,
two of them. And I had, like I said, I had just gotten my phone out of the car. No damage was done to my windshield. I went to lunch about 35 minutes later. And noticed the crack. Went on to lunch and I was like, to me, it just kept getting bigger and bigger. I'm like, oh my God.
A lot of times.
No, it's shattered like this. It's not one or two lines.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
if it was not for the tin in the top, it would. be-
This is the windshield?
Yes, sir.
Windshield.
It
Mhm.
would be in my lap.
Right.
And I called Miss Arbrook
Yes.
and she got back with me a few days later. I guess my only, I have insurance, but I guess the only thing that drove me to come here because my nerves are shot. Let me tell you, I don't like speaking and doing this,
Yes, ma'am.
but it was the process of no one actually coming to look at my vehicle. to actually speak to me before the answer no was given that the city did not do it. The process of having a police officer come to my job a week after. I mean, have anyone here ever had an accident and a police just
With
show
all
up?
due respect.
I mean, I'm just asking, the way it happened.
When we had the people up here to talk to them, nobody recalls any accident. happened,
That's
but
the data.
with all due respect
Yes,
to you,
sir.
I had myself, I said, just for safety, just to see, I asked Douglas myself to come look, because if our people said they didn't do it, and we do things all the time, we got a really nice time. We break people's window when we use our weed eaters, knock windows out the car for it, and these things that's happened numerous times in years I've been here. And we stand by it every time. It's just that the guys came in and rode up. They
Mhm.
felt like they wasn't close to the car. And if they had done something, I promise you, these are the same guys that got up on their own Christmas morning, without being told to, came up, cleaned up some garbage cans that I was. So I think we're dealing with some honorable people. And that's why I asked the police to go back and look, because I don't know how the heck would happen. I got one spread a lot because it was pebble from a rock. Comes that kind of thing.
I mean,
We're not trying to not pay
it's-
something. We
I mean,
want to
it's
know.
just that- I mean, like I said, the concern just bothered me. Like,
Yes,
it
we-
was
we-
not it was a lack of a concern, I guess.
We're sorry about that.
No, I'm just.
So what juncture are we at here?
So my question is, did anyone, I see we have a statement and the chief asked you to, if you were interested in making a violent incident. Why weren't you not interested?
Thank you, Sophia.
I was at my job, working. And I guess how I was preceded, he came in and, it was not a police officer. It was an investigator.
That would be the appropriate one to look
Michael,
at.
but he-
Like that.
yeah.
That's fine.
And, it just blew my mind that, like I was stating before, I mean, how many people here had an accident and not call the police and they show up at your job? I mean, a week later, you see what I'm saying? I had already gotten the answer, no, they wasn't gonna fix it. So why would I do a police report?
I wanted to double check. I have due respect. to you.
Yes,
Why?
But I did offer that day to have an officer. The day we spoke, I offered to have an officer come that day.
I don't remember that.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
With all due respect, we
That's fine.
want
I
to
mean,
do
it's
this right.
just the way it went, I didn't appreciate it.
Okay, you'll accept an apology. You
I
got
mean,
it.
yeah, but I mean, yes, sir.
Anything else?
No one's perfect. You're not perfect.
Yes,
And
sir.
if
I
we'd
mean,
done it, we'd have been more than happy to.
but who's to say they didn't do it?
Well,
It sounds
I
like
mean, it's my word against, I mean, you see what I'm saying?
you got a,
My
You
car
gotta
was, the windshield was not cracked. They were out there working, they had to pass by my vehicle, they had sledgehammers, heavy tool equipment, taking down the big old Christmas sign. I mean,
sounds
that
like
wasn't even 5, 7 feet away from my
something
vehicle.
big, one just said the whole thing shattered.
Well, I mean, there's pictures, but no one bothered to come look at it.
That sounds like something. I've had some cases where big rocks, with shattered, not told, shattered.
Well, with it parked there and I was a big rock.
I don't know.
I'm just concerned, and I'm gonna just be honest with the person with the car. I'm just concerned by the fact that you had this incident to happen and you didn't the day of the incident. And you saw some people buy your car. You called Miss Michelle, but you didn't do a report.
Because I was waiting for her to get back with me. And it
But
took
I-
her 4 days to get back.
No, ma'am.
I
It was,
called you
it
that
was the
Thursday
weekend,
morning. Right.
but it was the weekend and I waited till
mean,
I spoke to the mayor.
Yes, ma'am. I understand
Yes,
that,
ma'am.
But I mean, 4 days and all.
But it
Yeah,
was
well, we
because it
count
was
the
the
weekend.
weekend. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Insurance company.
If you have proof we
right.
did it, we would repair it. If you had proof we did it, we would, repair it. We don't
Yeah.
have proof either.
No, we don't.
That's the problem.
So a police report would have shown proof that.
I don't know that we'll have.
Okay, I mean, I was just asking.
An investigator
That y'all
may have
need-
known something that these others didn't know. I promise you to do.
That's what I mean, I figured that, but I just, in the future, I'm just saying, as far as someone coming to look or even speaking to someone.
I would call an
I
investigator,
would
right?
go to this news call.
Well, I mean, I assume someone would take responsibility.
No, it has to be-
But I mean, but I
that has to
understand
be-
how
they will take
people
you
don't want to take
before that.
responsibility when they make have accidents.
No.
Okay, thank y'all so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
y'all.
Appreciate you.
Okay, public hearing.
Thank you.
Here we go, short list tonight, 604 North Davis Avenue. Meringue Holdings LLC, 1815 Southland Drive, Roosevelt Whitfield. 1831 Southland Drive, Charles and Sanji Harvey. 607 Lane Street, Annie Green Woods, Karen Ethel Wood. 612 South Bow Avenue, Larry Davis, Karen Burnett. 215 South Kerman Avenue, Bailey Investments LLC. 933 Pearl Avenue, Brenda Shavers. 621 Halo Street, Oliver Estates LLC. And then finally, 813 to 823 Halo Avenue, and 812 to 818 Church Avenue, Delta Investments Limited Urban Management. Anybody here on behalf of any of these properties? There being no comment or request. We got one.
On it.
215
South here, David Bailey requested 30 days.
Okay.
Want that to be accepted.
Assuming, yeah, that's right. Assuming y'all want to grant that extension, it would be in order to grant that extension and adjudicate the other.
So moved.
Robert made a motion, Gary, second. All in favor, say aye. Engineering,
Guys, I'll just hit a few high points in my report. We're taking bids on Rosemary Road on Thursday this week. North Street, we're gonna get started construction here in the next few weeks. We're still waiting on a few final pipe materials to show up so we can get started. We'll be starting on the Court Street sidewalk this month. And we did submit the rest of our ARPA, the MCWI applications for additional funding through the state. We got all those submitted last week. And there's a list of the projects we applied for. And that's all I have. Do you have any questions for me?
questions? Great job. on getting it done
Thank you.
in such a timely way. Okay, Dan, city attorney.
Yes, first off, the consent agenda is before you, Ms. Motion, second to approve.
So moved.
Say it, maybe, Mike.
Second.
Give a second, I'll probably say aye.
Yeah.
Second, you have, the 2023 bond improvement award resolution, you'll see in your packet, and those came in.
So moved.
Right in here.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, you have in your packet, it's under attorney, this ordinance that we discussed, which he discussed with you in his report last time.
Did that resolution include the bid tabulation? I mean, it included
It's
approving the bid.
yes.
Okay,
And we're doing the bond validation. That's all.
Got it. Okay.
But, have that in your packet, this ordinance, if you'd like to look at it and think on it and pass it at your next meeting, the way we, the chief and I did it, we've got it to where it takes effect 30 days afterwards. Because what the chief's gonna do is they're gonna go around to these businesses and say, hey, this
So-
ordinance passed, you can't sell this anymore.
Just got a question. I read it and I don't know what all this stuff is, but is there language in there in case something new comes out or a new chemical that they're using to create this type of thing? This will be covered. I mean, we're gonna be doing this every 2 or 3 years and something else new comes along.
Problem.
Doesn't take them that long. to come up with something.
Yes. This is pretty comprehensive, but as new things come out to get people high that aren't regulated, we'll probably have to come back. You could, we're gonna come back in 2 weeks and meet.
I wouldn't wait on this.
these are drugs that are being sold literally in convenience stores. And kids can buy this stuff. I mean, and we gotta stop it. If we made a few mistakes, we can always change it.
I have a question
And I
before we
agree,
vote on
because
something.
then you want edibles and we're getting children to fall
Yeah, it's
down.
crazy. It's crazy what they can buy.
Okay, sounds like we need a motion.
I have a question before I make a motion. In reading it, I'm sure I missed it. Do we have anything about seizure of said property? I just,
If they come into a store after this takes effective date, and they will have warned you, all of these stores. They come in there and it's out on the counter, they're gonna write a citation and they're gonna seize it because it's out. Correct, Dudley?
yes, I make a motion that we accept this order.
And make a motion.
Second.
Jerry, second, all in favor, say aye.
I'm
Excuse me.
sorry, no, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You go ahead and finish, and then I'm gonna let them know about the information that we have.
Oh, okay, well, I think the motion carried, so.
The mayor asked me to share with y'all that we received some information that was shipped to us from an advocacy center for these products. If any of you are interested in receiving that, each one of you received a notebook from this advocacy center supporting this product or these products. If any of you are interested in receiving that information, it's just more information on these products. The information is in my office. You're welcome to come by and pick up a notebook.
Sure.
These products being sold at grocery stores,
Convenience
stores.
Convenience stores.
Mhm.
It's a convenience store.
It's ridiculous.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, so if you want to pick up some reading here.
And come see me.
Okay. What else you got?
I have, other, attorney wise, report in the file, nothing requiring executive session.
Mr. Trotter?
Yes, Mayor, planning commission, I have one, Jose Mercado, submitted application of that, and so the question of 33-foot 3-yard setback there. Construct 55 by 110 building at 918 North Christian. That's directly behind MDOT. They come out within that community. That's the only way that lot gonna get developed.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, we just need a motion for them to advertise.
That's correct.
I make a motion.
Brian, all in favor, say aye. Okay.
Next thing I had an appointment for a car wallet to fill on expired term, Chang Hayes.
You got a motion?
So moved.
Here. Robert, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Is that all, Mr. Trotter?
Yes, sir, that's all I have.
Anna?
Okay, not
You
really.
You muted.
Sorry, I pressed another button. How are y'all?
Fine.
Y'all, I have the worst luck with technology. You have my report. If you need anything from me, just let me know, but we're good.
You're doing a great job. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Dudley?
Y'all have my report. Y'all have any questions?
I will let y'all know on Dudley's behalf, we have taken bids for the renovation at the police station. And we had hoped that it would be on the agenda tonight, but they are still working on the recommendation for that. So you should see it at the next meeting. So be looking for that. Hopefully, this is the second time we've taken bids. So hopefully it'll meet all the requirements and be under budget. And we'll be seeking approval for that at the next meeting.
Chief, we looking at, or have you looked at the just back of the justice court building where the folks work, flooring and things? Do we need some work out there? Are we looking at any renovation on that? Not just the court building, the court building, I mean.
No,
it needs some, it needs some work.
Maybe we look at it next budget, but
Okay, all questions, okay. Greg? Okay,
Yes, sir, we had vision going this morning, that's right, change. Protect fire lanes, for our fire lanes, but, the notion on the toilet, we have this, inside the water. This was late on a Thursday night, I worked on that case for 2 days, with, the residential police department, and, yes, 2 years before that, and, I just want to say, that means, police department just been decided, top notch, and did a business job. So I wanted to be pleased, and, pleasure to work with, and go with that. Good job.
questions of Greg? We might be lucky when the police chief and Greg say the slow month on things. Appreciate y'all, how good y'all work together. Okay, Jamie, animal shelter.
Good evening. Y'all have my monthly report. If y'all have any questions for me, they are finalizing the parking lot situation we talked about last meeting. So after that's done, I believe we'll be completely done with the renovations besides waiting on our new canopy.
Okay, so we maybe shoot towards April or so for the grand opening.
I think that'd be great.
Okay, we'll work towards that. Okay, Hunter. Okay, Steve-O.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't have anything outside my monthly report, but I spoke to the guy from B&B this afternoon that me and the mayor spoke on about the street lights, and he is in town tonight checking, and he will be in town tomorrow and tomorrow night. So we're making a little headway on some street lights.
Okay, what we need to do, Steve-O, is he kind of works for energy. We need him to give who he reports to energy.
Yes,
We
sir.
can talk to that person because we don't want to skip over the people who are gonna pay the bill.
Yes, sir. I asked him. I tried to get that out of him.
Yeah.
He said he was going to be in town tonight, so I think that's going to be the next step.
We're taking one step at a time, but
That's
we
right.
all know that these streetlight things go months without.
Yes, sir.
We're trying to work through that. It's like,
Send him down to the police department.
Steve, on Glasgow and Young Street where you and I met down at by Mr. Che's house.
Yes, sir.
With that intersection is there.
Yes, sir.
Did you have you talked to you say you might talk to the engineer to see if something could be worked out, but what have anytime it rains in that area, the debris and stuff get in the man's yard.
Right.
There's no curb right there.
Yes, sir.
We were wondering, the street was built and didn't put a curb right there, so all the debris just come over there. You said you were gonna look at that.
Yes, sir. I spoke with Josh, and me and him, the best thing out to start off with, we're gonna try a ditch on the opposite side of the road in front of his house. We're gonna cut a small ditch right there leading to Glasgow ditch and see what that does first before we try anything, pouring any curves or anything.
Because he was, very concerned about,
Yes.
Debris and everything. Every time it rains, everything is gravel, loose gravel, just come on over in the yard.
Yes,
So
sir.
there's no curb right there
That's right.
on Young and Glasgow.
Right.
it was that.
Steve, I had,
Mr. Robert,
right there at, DM Smith Middle School,
DM Smith.
at the stop sign right there, this is there. I know we're gonna get a plane if we don't want to. I don't know if the force or something you put there, that's a hole.
Yes, sir.
Somebody's school, that's right there, the four-way stop where this is there and Ruby Street intersection.
Okay.
And that's-
Yeah, I'll look at it in the morning.
And if we were sitting here early and I got a text message, one of the stations down there on, I think it's, Church Street and Falls back there. I'm just really concerned about those potholes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Steve,
Yes, ma'am.
Fixed a water leak on, North Street.
No,
It
ma'am.
was right in front of, like, I think it was like 910 North Street.
That would be fun.
No, they did it because, there was some,
Okay.
they fixed the, Aldermen fixed the leak. But then, what I'm saying is now the road, the pavement is, it has started to cave in, so. And so when you pass through there, you got a big old, like a pothole,
Yes, ma'am.
and that needs to be, kind of leveled off.
We'll handle it.
Because, I hit it early. I've been sort of dodging it, but couldn't dodge it because I had another car passing by me, so I started hitting it
Yes, ma'am. We'll get it.
pretty hard. If you just kind of level, if you can level it off, I guess, in asphalt.
Yeah, we'll take care of it. Ain't no
Thank
problem.
you, I appreciate it.
No problem.
Anything else, Steve? Okay, we'll go to Clint.
Good evening, Mayor. I've got one thing on the agenda to discuss tonight, and it's been a topic that the Airport Commission's been concerned about for some time now. And with the construction that we're scheduled to start later on this spring and early summer, we're extremely concerned about it. And that's with the parking along Airport Terminal Road in front of Delta State Flight Operations. The students are essentially forced to park on the street, and it's normally on both sides of the street. And as you can tell from the pictures, sometimes it can get very congested through that area. And sometimes it's anywhere from, 5 cars to 30 cars out there. And we've discussed it with the Airport Commission. We've discussed it with Delta State. They're all in agreement that they need to expand their parking lot. And Josh has provided them with some designs and drawings and cost estimates on everything, but essentially it just comes down to they don't have the funding for it right now. So as hopefully a temporary fix, what we're requesting to do is place no parking signs on the east side of Airport Terminal Road, and then on both sides of Airport Terminal Road within the curved area. And so this will keep the students from actually crossing the street, and all will be parked on one side. And this will, because like I said, once this construction starts, we're going to have dump trucks and heavy equipment coming out all day, every day. So we're just trying to open up the area and make it a little safer for everyone.
Okay. Need a motion on that? First, make a motion, then second, all in favor, say aye. Okay, get with Steve O. Make that happen.
Will do. Thank you.
Questions of Clint? Jason?
How are y'all? I don't have anything outside of my report unless y'all have something for me.
Questions for Jason? Okay. Thank you. Michelle?
Yes, sir. I have a few things for y'all tonight. The first thing, we had a request from Dale Tice. He was requesting a refund for the purchase of 2 cemetery plots. And so the situation is he didn't know that I believe they had plots at, I believe at the church. Found out from a family member, or family members had purchased plots for them. But I contacted the state auditor's office, and there is a AG opinion that we do have the ability to refund those fees. And the amount that was charged to them when they purchased the plots is still the rate that we're charging now today. If y'all so choose to make the refund.
We can resell it.
We can, we are buying them back.
I make a motion.
Right.
Mhm.
All in favor, say aye.
Yeah.
Okay. Second item that I have is, I'm requesting approval to apply or to approval of the CDBG Public Facilities Resolution So we want to apply for the CDBG. It's a grant for public facilities. There'll be water,
Through Southdale.
yes. And we'll have to make a decision on what we're going to apply for. I think Josh wants to wait and see what is awarded from ARPA before we make that election, whether it's water and sewer or some other infrastructure. So,
But we do need to sign it. Get
yes,
that.
sir. We have
Robbie,
to
you made a
sign the
motion.
resolution at this point.
Robert made a motion. Dead second, all in favor, say
Nah,
Okay. We have received leak adjustment requests for during the inclement weather back in December. And we have 2 that had made prior requests within a 12-month period. So in the past, there have been exceptions made to the one-time leak adjustment during a 12-month period when there was inclement weather. So that was what I was bringing to you tonight, was the discussion of our leak adjustment policy due to inclement weather. We have 1 leak adjustment in the water department within a 12-month period. I included in Dropbox our leak adjustment policy.
We've been really lucky on that.
We have been. Right now, we
Lucky on
only,
the weather, too,
yes, sir. Right now, we only have 2 that have submitted a second request. Maryland has the ability to go in and look at the history on the account, look at when it occurred, know if it was during inclement weather. With the Beacon software that we have, she can pinpoint when it occurred and know if it was during inclement weather. But with us with this being February, we are potentially looking at more ice, more cold weather. So I just wanted to bring it to you, number 1, to see if these 2 leak adjustments could be approved. Also, number 2, to see what our policy would be if we get any additional freezing temperatures and have any additional requests.
I didn't legit, but spell it out in detail. They love, by that, I mean, the auditor loves to worry about these water bills. So
They don't give anything.
yeah, they don't want it. But what I'm telling you is spell it out and spell out your reason. But the data that we have is unbelievable. Something like this, when they send something over there to me, I'm able to pinpoint it. So we're not guessing. It's not just somebody's claim. We can back it up on the computer. So make a finding if that is the will and pleasure of the board to give somebody relief because of the weather disaster.
And mind you, our leak adjustment policy is not forgiveness of the entire bill.
Right.
Our leak adjustment policy, they have to provide documentation from a licensed plumber that the repair has been made.
and it goes back to a
And
regular,
it actually,
regular average.
we split the difference of
Okay.
the bill. So we don't forgive the entire loss to the citizen. We forgive half. We make an adjustment to the bill, and it's water. It's water only. We don't forgive sewer.
So when Miss Marilyn, can she see the amount of the water during the leakage? Can she do a
Yes, ma'am.
comparison?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. We can look actually, and this is a little, maybe too much detail than you want, but we can look and see if a toilet flushes basically at 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, the software is pretty amazing. Yes, ma'am.
That's that.
Jay had made a motion. In a second, all in favor, say aye.
Right, and the last thing that I have is approval of the change to the health insurance prescription plan. Would you like to speak to that?
Now, I'll make it real quick. So we have an annual meeting with our health insurance provider, and this will be the third year in a row. We're gonna keep the same rate that we've had, which is absolutely astonishing because everybody else's rates around the country are going up. There is one caveat to that, though. We have 13 people out of the 130 some odd people that are on our health insurance that are taking a specialty drug. One of them costs over $90,000 and they have to have it every 90 days. So what this new insurance thing is doing, they negotiate bills, and that's why they've been able to keep our thing down. So what they're doing is this: they want us to make an election for them to go to an alternate prescription source where they can buy these type of maintenance drugs like that for people who are terminally ill, and they can get them at substantially reduced prices. It's going to be a little inconvenient on the front end for those 13 people, but it's voluntary on their part. But if they elect to do it, it even eliminates their copays. So it becomes cheaper to them. So I just like to make a motion that we allow our insurance provider to search for that alternate source.
Gary made a motion. Rob second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Heather?
Oh, I'm
You-
sorry, Mayor. I have one more thing that I do want to inform everyone of. We had a visitor tonight that was not able to be here. It was a representative from Atmos, and he was coming to speak to a leak detection system. It's actually a vehicle that drives around town and detects leaks. It can go so far as to detect a leak in someone's attic. Okay.
Wow.
So right now they are working in Tupelo. They're going to be coming to Cleveland. They actually use a contractor to do that. He had a conflict. He called me late this afternoon to tell me that he was not going to be able to make it to the meeting. But he is going to meet with Greg and Dudley, Chief Tribble, because they are the two individuals that are going to be impacted the most with them coming and driving this vehicle around town. Because the vehicle will drive late in the evening, like at night, in neighborhoods. It'll drive very slowly. It'll have the flashers on, so it'll look quite suspicious driving around neighborhoods. So they want the police department to be aware that they're going to be driving around. They will make an effort to go around during the day and notify citizens that they're going to be coming around driving in their neighborhoods in the evening and what they're going to be doing. But once again, it's a contractor. It is not Atmos. But just to let everyone know that they're going to be doing that. If you get any phone calls from any of your citizens, anyone in your wards, that is going to be taking place.
Surely there'll be some kind of name on the vehicle.
It will be, and I will let you know who that is once I confirm who that contractor is going to be. Their vehicle will have a name on it, but it will not be Atmos. And that's right, that's right. And they will be meeting, like I said, with Greg and with Chief Tribble. I would assume that they're going to communicate that when they go around to the neighborhoods. And once again, I think they'll probably let them know what that time frame is going to be. Like I said, they're completing their work in Tupelo now. So I don't know when they're going to be arriving in Cleveland.
But we'll put that on our Facebook page.
Yes, ma'am, we will. The gentleman's name is that from Atmos is Ken Smith. So,
Okay.
yeah.
No.
I only have one item for action. Question approved for question remaining.
Is that for that suspension?
Got a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Gary made a motion, Dan second, all in favor, say
All
aye.
right.
Okay. Robert?
Yeah, I don't have.
Nothing, thank you.
No, sir.
Okay.
Not gonna break the chain.
No, sir.
Okay, well, I'm not either. Kirk?
Move we adjourn.
Certainly, motion, Danny, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.